So everyone, we are done with our respective constructive speeches. Now let's start with the question and rebuttal round. My first question to my opponent is, you made a statement that free will is relative but not predetermined. We can be influenced by others, but our influence cannot determine our destiny. Would you like to explain? Because I think that destiny is affected by influence. Perhaps that's the reason these wise men have suggested to avoid bad company.
Well, to answer this question, I would say that our destiny depends upon our free will. We should be strong enough that we are not getting affected by petty things. We are influenced by different people at different points of time, but it doesn't mean that we will have different fates.
Okay, so my second question to you is that before choosing a friend, do you take into consideration your free will, or you take into consideration factors like hobbies, virtues and skills? Isn't the mind working scientifically here?
Well, to answer this question, I need about 30 seconds.
Okay.
While feeling attracted towards a person or while making friends, it's just how we feel. Sometimes we get attracted towards a complete stranger. It's just because we feel comfortable. So it totally depends on our free will that we feel good and comfortable with our friends.
Why do you feel comfortable? Because don't you think our brain gives us the signal that ours and our friends' wavelength matches?
See, according to me, friendship involves heart and not brain. While making friends, we do not apply mathematic formulas. I do have many friends, but we are totally different in terms of our personality.
Okay, so my third question is that you made a statement that free will is for our betterment. If free will is for our betterment, then why are so many crimes and unethical behaviors reported?
Crimes happen because we are not alert towards our free will. Our free will guides us, but just because of our desires and pleasures, we ignore it. Well, I have certain questions for you. I have a very simple question, that if free will doesn't exist, then would you go by that we are slaves to our genetic makeup?
Okay, I need 30 seconds for this. See, genetic makeup makes us unique. It gives us our own individuality. And we inherit certain set of proteins from our parents that gives us certain specific characteristics. But science never ignores the environment. Environment can strengthen or weaken our assets. For example, there is a pair of identical twins that are grown in a different atmosphere. We would get different products.
Okay, my second question to you is, how can it be inferred by Libet's experiment that signals generated are actually responsible with same movement?
Actually, movements like the movement of our finger or the movement of our wrist is termed as a voluntary movement, which means this movement is in control of our brain, particularly saying in control of the motor area of our cerebrum. And during the experiment, Libet asked all his subjects not to make any other movement. So this is clear that those signals were because of the movement of the finger and the wrist.
Fine. You remark that brain is composed of neurons, which in turn are made up of atoms and they follow same fundamental laws. If similar laws are followed, then why do we expect humans to behave differently using their own senses? Isn't it free will?
See, neurons work the same in each and every body. They transfer the messages to the brain, and that's a whole scientific process. But the number of neurons, their types and their associations are different, and they depend on our genes. And as we know, there are no two persons in this universe who have similar genes. So everyone is different. So, dear audience, at the last, we would just like to conclude by saying that free will is absolutely an illusion. It appears to be an attitude towards life. And no life, whether microscopic or macroscopic, has the freedom to choose. We are regulated by our neurons which work in a scientific way, by a scientific principle, and creates just a flavor of free will. The fact is, it is the neural activity in the brain which is the carrier of the free will. Well, in moments when we experience our brain is making a choice, actually, our minds are rewriting histories and are trying to fool us by making us think that we were the ones who made this decision. Rather, this decision was made long time back by our brain. So, truth to me is, free will absolutely lags reality. Thank you, everyone.
So, at the end, I would like to consolidate by saying that we humans have the choice to live our life in our own way. So why just accept being a slave to our genetics and experiences? Free will is really very important because it gives us the uniqueness. Free will is not at all an illusion, it's an attitude. Life brings lessons that come with free will. We can choose to be the victor or victim. The only person we are destined to become is the person we decide to be. After all, life is a game of cards. The hand you are dealt is determinism, and the way you play is free will. Thank you.